Same thing happened in Tennessee, Atlanta, Texas. They don't give a damn. The people who make the most money live in some exclusive neighborhoods. Meanwhile, we living in hell, watching folks die and going to funerals, and they're making records about people dying, smoking their ashes and doing all kind of shit and keeping the cycle going. Meanwhile, they got the money that they made off your record invested in the prison industrial complex tax stocks. So they're making money hand and fist over our stupidity, and motherfuckers don't get it. But again, ain't nobody in the community, because back in the day, shit, I remember my neighborhood was every household had a mother, a mom, and a daddy. The daddy might be drunk, but that motherfucker was home. He might have been drunk, but he was home. And if his ass got pissed off, he's sober enough to kick some ass and, damn it, put everything back in perspective. We ain't had that in a long time. Mamas are different. Daddies are different these days if they're home.
You know, Lonzo, we're about 20 years apart. And it's so crazy, and we talked about this before, but might as well dive into it again. In my generation, you're lucky if there was even a father on the block. I mean, every home was a single mother, including mine. It just amazes me that in 20 years, it goes from what you grew up to what I grew up with.
Yep. And we would watch the men in the block get together and do shit at each other's house. My daddy was a gardener. His partner was a concrete man. His other partner was a mechanic. His other partner was construction. His other guy drove tractors. So everybody would exchange, or I'm going to help you do so and so. I mean, I watched him do this as a kid, man. I'm going to help you do your lawn. You help me build this, put my patio on, put my patio up, blah, blah, blah. And they would get together over, they drank hard shit in my neighborhood. It wasn't no beer, it was Old Taylor. That was a drink of choice. Old Taylor, some Mississippi Rock Gut shit. I ain't seen it on the store in God knows how long. Mississippi Rock Gut, and they get a shot dog, and they get to lying and slinging hammers and slinging dirt, and that's what they did, man. That's how our community got built up. You know, Jeffy was he was a contractor, so he would have everybody would work with him from time to time. You know, moving shit or building stuff. He would give, you know, everybody worked together. Everybody worked together. If nothing else, it would come to you for a consultation, and for that consultation, they sit there in the backyard and knock down the short dog. That was a social drink of choice. But it showed me something as a kid. I saw men work together. You know, it wasn't. I went back to the hood. Wasn't no men there no more. Wasn't no men there no more.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, to kind of keep it along the lines of what we were talking about earlier, a picture went viral this past week of a man who says he keeps a photo of a jail cell on his phone as a reminder. His caption was, "I keep this picture on my phone to remind me where I'm going to be sleeping at if I let my anger get the best of me." When you hear that, what do you think, Lance?
It's a very smart man. It's a very smart man. You know, people have different ways, different things they use for motivation. Some people have what they call dream boards. Okay. They had the car and the house and the woman and the kids and the trips, all that on the dream board. Some people got the nightmare board. I ain't fucking with that. I call that a nightmare board. Okay. If I let my emotion, that's basically what happens, man. It don't take but 3 seconds to get your ass in trouble for life. 3 seconds or less. The time to take a bullet to leave the chamber of a gun, hit somebody in the head, heart, or some other vital part, and you're out. You're out. I don't understand how people actually think they can actually commit crimes and get away with it. I don't understand that. You're only bullshitting yourself. But people, again, because music has been weaponized against us, we're under the illusion that we can pull, I don't know, whatever TV show it is, and shoot up a whole neighborhood. Nobody ever go to jail. That's why I stopped watching Sons of Anarchy. The motherfuckers shoot up 100 rounds of bullets, shoot up a whole town, and the sheriff go sit in the car. It's just shy of Mayberry. The bikers ran everything. Come on, man. They finally went to jail, and all of a sudden they had some miracle guy come get them all out. They get messing with that bullshit. Okay. So, but again, it gives you the illusion. And understand this, and this happened to me. In the 80s, I never left home without a gun. I never left home without a gun. I didn't need one, but I tell you what, my cousin in Oakland carried one all the time. He was a jeweler. He carried a gun all the time. He wore a bunch of jewelry. He carried a gun in his backpack all the time, in his little pouch. That's when everybody had the fanny packs. He carried a 9mm in his fanny pack. And then we take it out of the fanny pack and lock it in the glove compartment of his BMW. I thought that was the coolest shit in the world. So I got back to LA. I started carrying my gun. It don't work the same way down here. It don't work the same way down here. Man, them cops told my goddamn glove compartment so fast, put the bullets in the gun, took my black ass. They took my black ass to jail so fast, it was a damn shame. Okay? I mean, when I was at Eve, I carried a gun all the time. But then I started carrying guns non-Eve after dark. Okay, when I was around the Eve, I always had probably at least two guns on me. I always had one, maybe two. That's no bullshit. But when I started carrying them around the neighborhood, or when I was picking up my girl, I thought you thought you needed one, but I really didn't. But it just felt good to have one. You understand what I'm saying? It's a dumbass feeling. But meanwhile, because the police was on my ass so much, I might as well had reservations at jail. And I lost about 3 or 4 guns to the police department. I stopped doing that shit, man. The judge told me last time I went to court, Mr. Williams, if we catch you with a water pistol, you got 2 years to think about it. No problem.
When did the laws, to the best of your knowledge, change to where when you were coming up, you could get caught with a gun and it was a slap on the wrist few times until they laid the hammer down. And then to where now it's like a mandatory, I don't know, whatever. And then the bullet is another year and this and that. When do you remember that coming in?
Only thing I ever saved me, even back then, it was always my gun. It was always my gun. Okay. That's the one thing that most cats, even now, one of my folks got caught up. And the reason why he didn't do as much time as he could have, it was his gun. And that is a saving grace.
Even on your personal? What does that mean? Because I know I could carry my gun in my trunk and all that, but you were carrying it on your person.
If they catch you with your gun one time, you might get a penalty. You might get a fine. 2 times, you finna get a case. It changed in the 90s. It changed in the late 80s, actually. Because folks was the 80s was like Wild Wild West, dude. Come on. And folks were shooting at the police, shooting at each other from car to car.